I want to delve into one of your signature promises on the campaign trail, which was to end inflation, to lower prices. You are now proposing tariffs against the United States' three biggest trading partners. Economists of all stripes say that ultimately consumers pay the price of tariffs.
I don't believe
Can
it.
you guarantee American families won't pay more?
I can't guarantee anything. I can't guarantee tomorrow.
Donald Trump recently sat down with Kristen Welker for an interview on Meet the Press, and he said a number of unhinged things that we're probably going to spend the rest of the day unpacking. But one of the biggest moments was when the topic turned to the economy. Not only did Trump repeatedly lie about his own economic record in term one, he finally admitted, under pressure from Welker, that his policies may not cut prices for everyday Americans as he promised, and in fact, prices may increase under his administration, totally shattering a major Trump defense from MAGA. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, we have several clips to talk about in this video. As I said, we're probably going to spend the entire day unpacking the number of unhinged things that Trump had to say. But I really want to focus on this one first because Donald Trump won the 2024 election, whether we like it or not. And one of the biggest reasons was because there was a global anti-incumbency trend. People everywhere, in every electorate, in every democracy, voted against or voted outright the incumbent party, in large part because of frustration due to COVID-era inflation. So the economy was a major factor propelling Donald Trump to victory. People had the perception that he's a brilliant businessman. He's going to cut prices. He's going to make things better for everyday Americans. And during the course of this conversation, he totally coughs up, even though he tries to fight it at first. He totally walks back a major campaign promise. So we're going to get to that. But first, let's start with some of the other lies that Donald Trump told about his previous administration.
Field.
Sir, your previous tariffs during your first administration cost Americans some $80 billion. And now you have major companies from Walmart, Black & Decker, AutoZone saying that any tariffs are going to force them to drive up prices for their consumers. How do you make sure that these CEOs, that these companies don't, in fact, pass on the cost of tariffs to their consumers?
They cost Americans nothing. They made a great economy for us. They also solve another problem. If we were going to have problems having to do with wars and having to do with other things, tariffs, I have stopped wars with tariffs.
Okay, Donald. So again, he totally sidesteps the question at first. He doesn't want to talk about this because he can't substantively talk policy. Instead, he just lies and says, listen, my previous tariffs cost Americans nothing. It is simply not true. Aggregate analysis of Donald Trump's tariff policy during his first administration have been overwhelmingly negative. Tax Foundation is just one in particular, and this is from a recent article. The Trump administration imposed nearly $80 billion worth of new taxes on Americans by levying tariffs on thousands of products valued at approximately $380 billion in 2018 and 2019, amounting to one of the largest tax increases in decades. This is not a matter of opinion. It's a matter of fact, and Donald Trump is on the wrong side of the facts. And it's worth noting that the tariffs he's imposing now are substantially greater and less targeted than the ones he imposed in term one. Remember, a 25% tariff on everything coming in from Canada and Mexico, two of our three biggest trading partners? An additional 10% tariff on the ones already levied by President Biden and Trump on China? This would be a staggering mass barrage of tariffs, the likes of which we have not seen, and it would be considerably more. So Trump is just lying. He's just lying to your face, and he's hoping that you don't remember.